We ready? Check, check. Can you check your microphone?
How's this? Good?
We good? ¿Cómo les va? Les saludamos con mucho gusto. Hoy vamos a tener una entrevista muy especial con el coach de los Carolina Panthers, Dave Canales.
Y el que venga a compartir con nosotros el día de hoy la importancia de lo que significa para él, y no solamente para él, para toda su familia. El estar en esta organización siendo el entrenador en jefe, creo que tiene mucho valor. My first question is to you. How do you feel to be a Hispanic coach, head coach on the NFL? It's not a lot of people that has done and walked this road, and you one of them.
I'm really proud of my heritage. I'm really proud of just the story of my family coming from Los Angeles, and to just give the dream that football is for everybody, you know, in different ways. You know, I think with the emergence of fantasy football, flag football gives women a chance to be involved as well, but especially with the Latino community, it's a great bridge because I grew up playing soccer. Flag football was my bridge to learn about American football, and so then it kind of, that's where I found the love, but it was all the things that I learned, you know, from just growing up, you know, around sports. Sports is a big part of our heritage, you know, but now football becomes an opportunity for a lot of Latinos everywhere.
How can you inspire new Latino generations? Because as Jaime said, we see you and we feel represented. And representation is very important in the NFL. Opportunities in this league are very hard to find.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of people that see you as an inspiration. Now, how can you inspire them to achieve whatever they want to do in life?
Yeah. I mean, it started off with a dream from my grandparents, from my grandpa who came from Mexico, my grandma who came from Mexico. My grandfather had gained citizenship in World War II. My grandparents had a dream that here you can go and become anything you want to. If you work hard, you trust the Lord, and you go for it, you can do it. My grandpa had, I think, about a second grade education. My grandmother probably had about a fifth grade education. But they wanted all of those opportunities for their children. And so all of their kids, my dad and his sisters, they all graduated from college. My dad is a pastor and a professor who later got a PhD. The dreams are limitless. And then they took it. And then my dad instilled the same dream to me and my brothers and said, Mijo, you can go and do anything you want to if you just work at it. You work hard, you hustle, give it everything you have, trust the Lord. You can do anything you want to. And so my dream just became football, you know, and that goes for everybody else out there too. Wherever you're at in the generational tree, you can do it. You can do it if you just put your mind to it and you're willing to do the hard work and be faithful to it.
Yeah, it's a generational thing. And do you remember any traditions or memories that you can share with us with your abuelos?
The richest tradition that they gave to us was a tradition of faith, giving thanks, to being grateful for everything. And then also just the rich tradition, like I grew up in church singing a lot of corritos, a lot of cantos in Spanish from our church. And so like when I think about my grandma, I remember her singing to us, praying with us at night.
You just touched the heartbeat of a family, La Abuelita.
Mm-hmm.
I want to ask you, what was the favorite dish that Abuelita fixed for you? What will be that dish?
Arroz con pollo.
Arroz con pollo.
And you could smell the onions, the comino, the tomatoes boiling all day. And then I remember coming home from sports, coming home from school, and you'd walk in, you knew dinner wasn't ready, you know, but it smelled so good, you
That's
know.
home.
Like, yeah, and we were getting kicked out of the kitchen, but the arroz con pollo was amazing, and she'd have the full drumsticks of chicken in there.
Mm-hmm.
She'd have green olives. And the beautiful thing is she's passed that legacy on. My mom had learned a lot of her dishes.
Gotcha.
My aunt Esther, my aunt Lisi, my cousins, all of them, they still carry those traditions, you know, on today.
Coach is bicultural.
Right.
He knows two cultures and make a big difference because you know sopes and you know grits at the same time, correct? That means a lot because that connects you immediately to the community when you bicultural. So how you kids see this bicultural thing in your family?
Yeah, I think the way that I've tried to keep the traditions alive is a lot of those songs that I learned growing up in church, we sing those songs together. And also just like having Spanish reading books for my kids. I think my biggest challenge was, you know, talking about football in Spanish. That becomes a real challenge. But for me, I wanted to make sure that I was able to read to the kids, that I was able to sing the songs so they can hear my accent. And all four of them actually have a really really good Spanish accent when they go into their schools and as they learn Spanish. And then just telling the stories of how we grew up together and the things we did as a family.
Tom Fears, Don Flores, Brian Flores, Ron Rivera, and Dave Canales. That's the only Hispanic coaches in the history of the NFL. Even saying that, I get the chills because, again, we feel represented with you. So during Hispanic Heritage Month, how do you feel with being in this list?
Yeah, those are big shoes to fill, and I think that there's certain things as Latinos that we take pride in. All work is noble. My abuelita would say that. All work is admirable. For me, I come into an opportunity with courage, and with pride to say I can do it, or at least I can give it a good shot and try. I'm not afraid to try it. And just the way as a coach you kind of start at the bottom and you have to do a lot of thankless jobs, For me it was like, this is normal to me because my people, we take pride in work, and having a job, it means so much, and so that's just the heart and soul to me of what it means to represent Latinos as a head coach.
Coach, we're gonna close this. I know you're very busy, but I want to share something with you. We've been doing Spanish radio for 14 years with the Carolina Panthers. Being Hispanic, the Panthers had a nickname. We don't say Carolina Panthers. We call them La Furia Felina.
La Furia Felina.
La Furia Felina. So we're going to do a chant that we do every game, and I wonder if you can help us out because we say, porque con la Furia Felina, and you say, si se puede. Yeah. But before that chant, we have something more electrically that gets people in the houses really to jump, and I say, palmas arriba, yo sí le voy a los Panthers, taca, 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 porque con la Furia Felina sí se puede.